Okay, so we just got off the train at Watford Station, and we were kind of trying to figure out where we need to go to catch the shuttle to the making of Harry Potter, and they got you covered with signage. So there's only one way out of this place, so there's signage over here that's directing us out to the side. Oh my god, no way. They have a night bus that's gonna be taking us over. I mean, it's obviously a painted over double-decker bus, but that is still so cool. I love that. It's also really important to note that the shuttle bus is only free if you have a valid ticket, and I highly recommend you purchase your tickets ahead of time because they do sell out. Okay, we made it onto the bus. The night bus that you saw in the last clip actually departed before we actually got to the stop, so we had to wait a little while, and we actually got caught in the rain. I don't know if you guys can tell, we're a little wet, but it's okay, wasn't too crazy. The buses depart every 20 minutes, so just be aware of that. So now we're on the bus, we're on the upper deck, time to head on over to the studio tour. Not that we're able to see too much to begin with, but you know what? It's the thought that counts.
Just a short journey away from Warner Brothers studio tour London, making Harry Potter. Which means you're only minutes away from stepping onto your favorite set's house at the studios.
Alright, and a 15-minute bus ride later, we have made it. And take a look at the entrance. We have a bunch of wands over here, starting with Voldemort's wand, Harry Potter's, Hermione's. Actually, is that? Because that, I think that's Harry's down there. Whose is this one? Anyways, actually that could be Ron's, because that's the Elder Wand over there. Does it say? Ah, interesting. Still, really cool. Okay, so I was right. It was Ron. Ha ha ha. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you officially to the Warner Brothers Studio Tour, the making of Harry Potter here in London. I'm so excited to be here. This is going to be very fun. Not only did they film all 8 Harry Potter films on this studio lot, but they've also filmed a bunch of other movies here as well. So we don't know if we're only going to see Harry Potter or if we're going to see a bunch of other things, but Harry Potter is definitely the main draw. But with all that being said, guys, let's not waste any more time. Let's head on inside and get this tour started. I love how at the entrance over here, they have wizard's chess pieces. That's really cool, from the Philosopher's Stone. Okay, we're in. Now, I have no idea where to go from here, but they do have digital guides available for you to rent. So you can see it is £5.75 per person or £15.95 for groups of 3 or 4. And it's basically just a guide that will walk you through the experience and give you information on everything that you're looking at. So in case that's something you're interested in, you are able to do that. You can see they also have like a dark arts experience that they're doing for the Halloween season. That's really interesting. Looks like we might be able to experience that. And then there's also an information booth and restrooms. Okay, oh my god. They've got the freaking dragon in here. Holy moly. Oh, look at that. You can see Bellatrix and some Death Eaters. Then you have Dumbledore and the gang over here. They have a little cafe over here. So this right here is kind of your central hub, I believe. So you have the food hall down that way. There's a little cafe over here. You have your merchandise down that way. And then the tour entrance is over here. We're trying to find a way to get outside because we know that there are sets outside that we want to see first before it gets dark. We'll be coming back into the food hall a little bit later, but I wanted to give you guys a quick look at the inside. I love how the Frog Cafe looks like a container for the chocolate frog. That's really cool. And it kind of looks like the Great Hall over here as well, where you're going to get the rest of your food. Really, really cool. We'll explore this just a little bit more later. So what'd you pick up?
An activity passport. So there's supposed to be little stamps throughout. Follow the clues to find the 15 golden snitches. Start with these 2. There's one above the exit from the Grand Hall. Anyway, and near the Great Hall, I can't read, ceiling model. Okay, we're not inside yet. Yeah, there's little stamps, and then there's find the dark mark, and then you get a dark mark stamp.
Very interesting.
The answer's in the bag.
Oh, okay. Yeah, don't do that. Looks to me like we're going to be doing a little bit of a pre-show. They have us in a holding area with all the movie posters for all 8 films, and then we're going to head on inside one of these rooms over here.
Excellent. Here we go. This is, of course, the Great Hall of Hogwarts. It was one of the first sets ever constructed for the movies, as well as being one of the largest. It stood for nearly 10 years in a soundstage just over there to your left. Now I know it's very tempting to stop in those doors, but please keep Keep on coming through because I promise the sooner we get you in, the sooner we close those doors, you get them for an excellent photo backdrop. Now, as you're coming in, I'm sure you couldn't help but notice the Great Hall has been festooned with these phenomenal floating pumpkins.
Why does it smell like candy in here?
During the famous scene where Professor Quirrell runs into the Great Hall yelling, of course talking about our lovely Great Hall ceiling. Now, during the films, it wasn't real, it was CGI, but a ceiling model would have made it really, really difficult to do this CGI, and so clearly it was a good choice. Now that most of you have come in as well, I'd love to direct your attention back.
Ooh, take a look at that. We have some of the costumes for the ghosts. We have nearly headless Nick's head, Hagrid costume, Filch's costume. Then of course we have Dumbledore, McGonagall, and Snape over there. Oh my goodness.
So feel free to take as many photos of this as you would like. Now your time in the Great Hall is slowly coming to an end.
Okay, so the tour has officially started, and the first part is a little bit of a drag. So you spend about a good 30 to 40 minutes waiting in a queue, and then they put you in a pre-show, they put you in another pre-show to give you a reveal of the Grand Hall. So just be aware of that. It's going to take a little while to get the actual tour started. But now that we are in here, we are on our own, and we can go in and just do whatever we want to do. Before we go too far into the tour, I do want to take a quick second to thank the sponsor of today's video, KLOOK. If you guys are planning on going on an international trip but are not quite sure what to do when you get there, I suggest using KLOOK. And with my exclusive promo code ThemeParkExpress, you can get up to 10% off of your first purchase. KLOOK can work on your browser or through the app, and both are super easy to use. All you gotta do is search by destination and see all the tours and experiences that are available. For example, say you're traveling to London and you want to experience the making of Harry Potter. Using KLOOK, you can book your tickets for this. They even have ticket options for the Warner Brothers tour that include tickets to other experiences around London as well. Then you can use the app to find all the experiences you saved and tickets for your purchases all right on your device. They've got almost 500,000 activities and over 1,000 destinations, and you can use it in your preferred language and currency. Not only does KLOOK work with the host to offer unique prices, typically cheaper than the at-the-door cost, but you can also earn KLOOK credits that you can use towards a future activity. International travel can be stressful, so use KLOOK to help you get all your activities planned and saved all in one place. Once again, guys, make sure you head on over to KLOOK.com and use my exclusive promo code ThemeParkExpress to get 10% off your first purchase. Thank you so much to KLOOK for sponsoring today's video. Now, let's get back into the action. Here's a set piece and some costumes from the Yule Ball. It looks like we have Victor Crumb's costume, we have Cho's costume, I believe that is. Maybe Harry's, yeah, Harry is a short guy. And then we have Hermione's, obviously Ron's, and then we have a bust of Madame Maxime, holy moly. Up above us, we have a model of the Great Hall ceiling. Ah, okay, so reading the description of this is the ceiling that they used in filming, and they used a clever camera trick and positioning to make it look like this was the real ceiling, when in actuality, the real set looked something like this with a whole bunch of lights and everything. So some clever camera work can make it look like this is the real ceiling. Over here, we have a forced perspective set piece from the Leaky Cauldron from the Prisoner of Azkaban film. It makes it look like the hallway is super long when in actuality it's actually pretty short. And then right next door we have the actual Leaky Cauldron used in the films. We really are getting a behind the scenes look at how films are made, because we have the Gryffindor boys dormitory where from the inside it looks like an actual dorm inside of Gryffindor Tower, but on the outside you can see it's just a bunch of wood and several pieces of metal slapped together with the inside painted through. So it's only what's on camera that is what's important. The outside doesn't matter. These are some cool props over here. Slughorn's hourglass. We have omnioculars. These were used in the Goblet of Fire for the Quidditch World Cup. They showed them very briefly, and they mentioned them in the books, but they never really pointed them out in the movie. You just kind of see them using it. You have the Crystal Goblet over here, the Snitch, the Remember-All. Ooh, the Deluminator, that's really cool. The Philosopher's Stone. You can see the screen-used Mirror of Erised over here. And then you have the Fat Lady, who guards the entrance to the Gryffindor Common Room. Oh, wow, and take a look at this. They have this massive set piece from the Slytherin Common Room. Holy moly. Now, sweetheart, can you remind me, where was the Slytherin Common Room? It was near the dungeons, right?
In the dungeon.
In the dungeons? Oh dear lord. Yeah, that explains the look of this place. Holy cow, this is incredible. The Gryffindor Common Room. You can even see the walkway up there. with some of their costumes.
The Death Eater's costumes seen here were designed by Jeremy Timmy and crafted by our talented costume team. These costumes gave the Death Eaters their fearsome feel and reputation, which carried right through from their first appearance to their last. As faithful followers of the Dark Lord, the Death Eaters struck fear into the hearts of many. As the Dark Mark appears, so they are summoned by the Dark Lord himself to do his bidding. It falls to the bravest witches or wizards to combine their power and defeat the Death Eaters.
Now this is a really cool section. They have all of their green screen stuff in their ode to the visual effects department. And down yonder that way, they have an experience where you can pretend like you're on a broom and they will use the green screen behind you to actually like make it look like on video you're flying through the streets of London or Hogwarts. I do believe it is an added charge to actually do this experience, but in case that's something you're interested in, you can go ahead and try it. Ooh, here's a look at the rig they use to operate some of the brooms on set. That's really cool. This specifically is Mad-Eye Moody's broom, which is very interesting because he's not like sitting on it like you normally would on a broomstick. You're kind of like, he has an actual seat, which is interesting with, you know, the foot pedals right there. That's cool. Now, I really wish that I could take the time to show you guys absolutely everything that they have here at the tour. Unfortunately, I can't do that. Otherwise, the video would be like 3 hours long. So I am going to be showing you the highlights of things that I really, really like and I really think that you guys will be interested in. But you'll just have to come and experience it for yourself because there is so much to see. Wow, they definitely have set pieces that I was not expecting to see. Like this is the Divinations classroom. You can see Professor Trelawney's costume and wig right there with everyone else's mannequin. All the teacups. Now, being over here and doing the Warner Brothers tour and seeing the Ministry of Magic set pieces really makes me appreciate how much effort Universal went into with Epic Universe and recreating the Ministry of Magic over there, because it is almost pretty much one-to-one with what they did over there, and that is really cool. All right, the next major section of the tour is going to be heading on inside the Dark Forest. You can see we have a Hagrid costume over here. Couple of very large trees. I do believe we're going to come face to face with Aragog over here. It also smells like Horror Nights. There's a bit of fog in here. Very reminiscent of Horror Nights. Wow, and take a look at that. They have Buckbeak over here too. They even have Death Eaters, wow, Dementors. Holy moly. Now it almost feels like we're in a Halloween Horror Nights house. Walking through all the vines. Oh no, all the spider webs. We're about to see the spiders. I hate the spiders. I hate them. I hate them. I hate them. Serious arachnophobia from me over here. Oh, good lord. Oh my. They have Aragog over here. Wow. No, thank you. Okay, so at first I was like, what the heck is this? Why is this dog here and it's wearing a vest? It lights up. You can push the button over there and it'll light up. That is so bizarre. So for a little bit of context, It says part of their effort included the creation of a custom LED lit vest designed to be worn by a Scottish deerhound to create the glow of the Patronus in the natural environment. In post-production, the visual effects department composited the digital Patronus with practical lighting effects, creating a magical and very believable effect. So that's what they used. That is so cool. Also, I want to let you guys know, they do have a chicken path in case you guys want to avoid all the spiders. You don't have to go through the spider path. There is an alternate way. So we came from that direction over here. You could come around this big tree where Aragog is going to be over there, or you can just come this way. Partway through the tour, after the Dark Forest, there is a gift shop over here that has been decked out for Christmas. I don't know if it's Christmas themed all year round, like if this is a specific Christmas themed gift shop, but it's still very pretty. Look at all the decorations. Okay, I'm not going to be showing you guys everything that's in this store, but I do want to point out this Dobby eye mask. What the heck? If you want to sleep and look like Dobby, you can do it here. Of course, this one manages to find all the Niffler merch. What's inside? Is that just a galleon? A galleon?
It handles pearls.
That's cute. And then they also have a Niffler hoodie.
One of those like comfy things. He's got a fork.
That is adorable. These are some very unique Christmas ornaments. You have the Hogwarts Express. You have the Weasley's car, the Night Bus. They also have some ornaments of the Philosopher's Stone. Still have the Night Bus in the car. We also have a couple of Hogwarts trunks. And this is really cool. They have a recreation of King's Cross Station. It's almost like our hotel is right next door, and we saw this morning. And then we have the Hogwarts Express over here. As Florida locals, we see this 1,000,001 times at Universal Studios, but it's still really cool that others get the opportunity to see it as well. Although, I will say, I do think this is the screen-used one. It's entirely possible. So here's something that's really funny. You can go inside the actual train over here and get photos. That's not the funny part. There's a 9 3/4 railway shop here at the Warner Brothers tour, and in the actual King's Cross Station earlier today, we saw a railway store for 9 3/4 with a whole bunch of 9 3/4 merchandise. That is pretty funny. So inside the 9 3/4 store, there's a Spirit jersey of sorts that looks like a Hogwarts letter. It's got the symbol up front and the, the wax stamp, and on the other side, it's the address. Mr. H. Potter, the cupboard under the stairs, 4 Privet Drive, Little Whinging, Surrey. That's cool. And for $20, you can make your own custom Hogwarts acceptance letter. That is really cool, and here's a couple of examples over here as well. Wow. That's awesome. Outside of the shop, they have a whole bunch of different wands, including house-specific wands. I pulled out this one because Code and I, we are Slytherins. Check this out, guys. Oh my gosh. Very cool. I love this so much. And then they have a Gryffindor one. We have Ravenclaw and even Hufflepuff. Okay, we have found the Backlot Cafe, which means that we are halfway through the tour. So here's a quick look at the menu. You guys can go ahead and pause to read. We're gonna see if we can get some food because we've only had chocolate croissants today. Okay, snack time. We opted to stop at the cafe and get some food. We got some fries or chips. We have some water, and we have the Dark Arts exclusive hot dog. Let's go ahead and pop this open and see what we have going on inside. Oh my goodness. Now, I forget what all are in the ingredients. Obviously, we have a wiener, we have a black bun, we have some black pepper mayonnaise, and it looks like some onions and jalapenos in there. It's gonna be interesting. We got this just to share to hold us over until later. Okay, so quick review of the hot dog. Was it good?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was all right. I mean, I expected a little bit more flavor, especially when it said it had like jalapenos, you know?
It said it was a jalapeno cheddar hot dog.
There was cheddar?
Did you not see? There was cheese. It was not in my half.
Oh. Okay, maybe I just didn't notice that. But anyways, yeah, it was tasty. Definitely could have been a little better though. Doesn't it feel like we're at home at Universal, just kind of sitting here eating with all the Harry Potter music in the background?
Yeah.
We're so used to hearing it at Universal all over the place. Okay, so we made it outside of the Backlot Cafe, and they do have a couple of sets out here. You can see a scale of the Weasley's burrow, or their house. That's really cool. You can see Privet Drive over here, We have the night bus. We also have the like long bridge that's in Hogwarts that separates it from, you know, one end of the moat or whatever to the other. A couple of scenes were filmed over there. And it looks like they have the, what is it, the greenhouse? They have the greenhouse in the back over there. It is raining just a little bit, so let's go ahead and make our way over to Privet Drive and see what's going on in there. And then we'll move on over to the greenhouse, possibly. And yeah, you can walk through the Dursleys' home. You can see the fireplace where all of Harry's acceptance letters came through. You have the staircase over here. It goes on upstairs. There's Harry's cupboard under the stairs. Oh my gosh, they even have like the whole scene from the third movie where Marge blows up. You can see Dudley got hit in the face with the button. That's really cool. You have Petunia over here. That is too cool. I love this so much.
What are you smoking at?
You can come on outside and come on in next door. What do we got? Oh, this is Harry's room. A scene from the Chamber of Secrets where he meets Dobby. Okay, time to head on into the greenhouse. Oh, this is cool. You can take a picture, make him pretend that you're pulling up a mandrake. They even have all the costumes and stuff from the Chamber of Secrets film. Oh, man. It ain't screaming, but it's still a cool photo op. I like all the other ones that are kind of wiggling around back here. You can just kind of... Yeah. That is disgusting. Now, this is a unique photo op. You can get your photo inside the Weasley's car. That's fun. Looks like the next area we're heading into is the creature effects area. And right on the outside over here, you can see some busts of some creatures. That's very interesting. Even a Grindylow. That's very creepy. You can see they have a mermaid over here. They have a Grindylow. They even have Victor Crumb with his shark head. And then they have a Dementor without its cloak. So in case you guys ever wondered what's underneath a Dementor's cloak, you can see it's got like a pelvis and then it's just a bone tail going all the way down. That is so weird. I never realized. Okay, this is a fun one. This is the original design for Voldemort on the back of Quirrell's head. That is wild how different they wanted him to look initially. But I will say, this is more accurate to the books because in the books he's described as having the red eyes and the teeth and a little bit of a snout but not really a nose, you know? Not exactly humanoid. That is so cool. Another little bit of behind the scenes for you is that not every shot of Hagrid is actually Hagrid. So for example, like in faraway scenes where Hagrid isn't necessarily the focus, they would put a gentleman in a suit and have this mechanical head on top of him. If you look very closely in some of the movies, you can faintly see it if you're paying close attention. It is very cool to see how this whole thing operated. Oh my gosh, take a look at that. It's little baby Fox. How cute. It is incredible to see the mechanics and robotics that went into some of these creature designs. Like the Monster Book of Monsters over here. Look at that. Over here we have a Dementor rig, so for the actors to have a reference of what they were looking at, they had someone wear this, so that way the actors knew exactly where to look, where the Dementor's face was supposed to be, and then it would just be digitally added in. That's really cool. You can also see we have the Hungarian Horntail over here, and we have a Thestral. The power of prosthetics is wild, and like all these different masks. All these characters were played by Warwick Davis, and something that always confused me was why they redesigned Flitwick. So like this is him from the very first time we saw him in Philosopher's Stone, and I do believe he looks like this as well in Chamber of Secrets, not entirely sure. But third movie onwards, he looked like that. I wonder why they decided to redesign him. And then they also have the Goblin Bank Teller, and then Grip Hook. All of this, Warwick Davis. Oh my gosh, guys, look, we're back home. What'd you say? Row 6? Yeah, row 6. Wow. Incredible. Gringotts Bank over here in London. This is really cool. They did such a good job at Universal with recreating this. This looks incredible. So this is always something that I found really cool, is that in the movies, the invisibility cloak is like a really thick cloak, but for the shots filmed inside of the cloak, you can tell it's like a very thin veil. And this is a look at the veil that they used to get the shots. So they would just wrap one end around the camera and point it at the actors underneath the veil, if that makes any sense. And that's what it would look like. It looks like we might be making our way down to the vaults of Gringotts. You can see we have the Gringotts ride vehicle over here. Not really like the ride vehicle like at Universal, I'm used to saying that, but like the vehicle that you would take to go down to the vaults. They have a mock-up of it over here. And also, can we talk about this? How in several locations we've had the dark mark appear and several letters. What's that all about? Do you know? You pay attention.
It's in the thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, but can
There's
you give me
apparently
clip notes?
some riddle that the letters are supposed to spell out. I don't see the riddle, so I don't know. But it's in with where you can get the stamps. There's a letter in each room.
Oh, very interesting. So yeah, for example, look, there's an O there.
Breaking out in it, which looks like we've got 3 colours going in the mall. And then each
Wow, and take a look at this. They even recreated the destroyed Gringotts set. And then they even have a screen back here where the dragon will come and breathe fire. And take a look at that. We end up at Diagon Alley. Right outside of the Gringotts Bank facade. That's really cool. Wow. Huh. Very intriguing. Oh, look, there's another one. It says D. Isn't it kind of funny how we walk through some of these sets, like the Gringotts set or Diagon Alley, and we're just kind of, I mean, I don't know about you, but I'm just kind of like, I have this at home.
Yeah.
It's on a
And
much
it's bigger.
bigger scale. Much bigger scale. We can actually walk inside the buildings, you know. It's kind of fleshed out a little bit more. And I remember, like, in a documentary, the actors talking about how, like, yeah, it's one thing to have a set on film, but you couldn't actually, like, go inside a lot of the places where when they visited Universal Studios, they actually built it out to where you could actually go inside. So for us, it's a little bit more impressive at Universal than it actually is over here at the screen used set, which is kind of funny and something fun to think about.
Like our dragon blows real fire.
Yes, our Blagon does blow real fire. Our dragon?
You said blaggin.
Blagon? Dragon? I can't talk, it's fine. Okay guys, spoiler warning. You have 3 seconds. 2, 1. Check this out. This is definitely the biggest surprise of the whole tour. Wow. A massive, massive model of Hogwarts Castle and its grounds. Like, look at that. They even have the dock down there as well. Holy moly. This is nuts. You have the main tower right there. You have the Great Hall. They have the Great Hall over there. They're going to have a little presentation here in a couple minutes, but wow. This is impressive.
Hogwarts were the ones who follow those. They host to the Dementors of Azkaban. A word of caution. Dementors are vicious creatures. They will not distinguish between the one they hunt and the one who gets in their way.
This is such a great way to get a 360-degree look at the school and kind of find out where things are in relation to other locations. Like, for example, you have the herbology greenhouses over here. You have the dock down here where Snape got murked. Let's go ahead and go around on the other side. You can see we also have a visual of the astronomy tower where Dumbledore gets murked. So this is a room that I really admire. Ollivander's Wand Shop features thousands of wands and wand boxes, each distinctive and one of a kind. In the wizarding world, the wand selects the wizard, and each of the wands seen here bears the name of one of the more than 4,000 talented, passionate, and dedicated people who worked on the Harry Potter film series for over a decade of extraordinary filmmaking. So each and every single one of these wand boxes has a different name, each representing a member of the cast and or crew who worked on the films, which is insane. So for example, Daniel Radcliffe, his is right here. And who else did you see? Julie Walters? Who's Julie Walters?
Is that not Molly Weasley?
Possibly, yeah. I didn't know her real name. Oh yeah, Tom Felton. This is very impressive. I love that they did this. Oh, Oliver Phelps, yeah. Wait a minute, what the heck is Edward Cullen doing over here? Man, rest in peace, Robbie Coltrane. You also have Alan Rickman over here. Legends. Absolute legends. And with that wand room, we are done with the tour, it seems. We have exited into the gift shop, and it is a massive one. Good Lord. And it even keeps on going down that long hallway, too. Okay, I'd like to file a discrimination claim. Please explain to me why we have all 4 houses over here with spirit jerseys, right? Explain to me why we have a Ravenclaw, Gryffindor, and Hufflepuff t-shirt, but Slytherin doesn't get a t-shirt. What the heck? Why don't we get a t-shirt? That is hateful. As a Slytherin, I am offended. Ahem. Ma'am, I'm gonna have to ask you to put down the baby nifflers.
Just the babies?
All the nifflers. What are you doing?
Look at them.
Yes, they're adorable, but you cannot have all the nifflers. I'm terribly sorry. Maybe you can have one. Not 100. One. Oh God, you found others. You cannot adopt all these nifflers. I'm sorry, you have to leave them behind. Don't give me that look.
They need homes. Look at them all.
They will find plenty of homes. Maybe not immediately, but they will find homes, I promise. Can we also talk about how throughout this entire tour, Coda hasn't been excited about much or like shown much emotion, but the second we find the creatures, she's suddenly interested.
That's all I'm here for.
Yep. All the pygmy poofs, or pygmy puffs. Coda calls them pygmy poofs. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that's going to do it from us here at the Warner Brothers Studio Tour in London for the making of Harry Potter. Quick summary, what did you think?
I mean, it was cool to see some of the other props and set pieces that we don't have in Florida, but if you've watched any like documentaries or when ABC Family, it used to be ABC Family, and they would play in little clips from the directors and stuff like that, it's a lot of that information I found. Like the little screens with the clips. So it was still really cool, but like if you grew up around the time that we did and you got to see all those clips as the movies were releasing, or if you had the DVD sets and with the bonus features and stuff like that, it's a lot of that. So I've seen and I've heard some of the information. I do think my favorite fact that I found while I was in there, now it says you're supposed to ask an interactor. I Googled it. I'm not gonna lie. When the fat lady in the 3rd movie hides behind a hippo, it's a real pygmy hippo.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So I think that was my favorite thing. Shaw Fair, it's an animal fact. But if you grew up around the time we did, some of the stuff is cool, but it's a lot of repeats.
I will agree, it is a lot of repeats. For us, like, I enjoyed myself, and I think Coda enjoyed herself as well. And seeing a lot of these sets in person and a lot of these props in person was great, but I don't think there's much repeat value here. It's a one and done. If you're a Potter fan, I definitely think you should make the trek to come out here once to at least do it. But after that, you don't really need to come back. But with all of that being said, guys, we hope you enjoyed today's video. Please leave a like if you enjoyed and drop a comment down below. Let me know your favorite Harry Potter film because I'm very curious. I hope you are all having a wonderful day, morning, afternoon, evening, and I'll see you guys in the next video.